I'm Katrina, this is Tare, and today we're talking about garage doors. You guys may have seen a couple of shorts I did when the power went out and I needed to get my vehicle out of the garage. I showed you how to disconnect the garage door opener and how to, get your car out. What I discovered during that was that I needed a tune-up for my garage door. So, called the garage door repair person and actually ended up replacing this spring up here. So this black thing with the white going around, that is the garage door spring, and that is what got replaced. So this spring up here was loose. It also was a bad spring. Now I had both of these doors, the springs were replaced about 10 years ago. So depending on the type of spring you have, it might last you shorter or longer. And so it was just time to go. So I did ask the repair person how I would have ever known that the spring was bad if I didn't disconnect my motor. And he told me I would have found out when the motor burned out. So what happens when the spring is not doing its job as well as it should be is it puts extra stress on the motor when it is used to open and close the door. So when that happens, it would put extra stress on the motor to the point that your motor would go eventually. And my motor may have been damaged in that process, as we saw after this was installed. So replacing a spring can be super duper dangerous. My dad even said that he had one break in an old house that they had, and I mean everybody's fine, but that they do break. So you do want to be careful if you know your spring is not how it should be, and actually call out a professional. So yeah, I do a lot of things by myself. I would do it myselfer. If this garage door opener needs to be replaced, I will do that or try to do it myself first. As I learned from one of my neighbors when I moved in, super simple. People just don't say it. You can try it. If you screw something up, you're gonna hire somebody to do it anyway, right? Might as well try. Now that's true for most things. The spring is not one of them. Spring is not one of them, and also hanging a door. If you have a square door and it goes into an old house, it will take hours and hours. I did end up hiring someone to hang my front door. And they had to shave off this and shave off that and go all of that. So there are some things that I think it's smart to hire a professional for. However, a lot of stuff you can do yourself. Like my dad and I, we changed out these rollers in here on either side. We changed those out several years ago, and that was completely fine, completely easy to do. Anyway, so once that happened and everything is good now, it works. The garage door opener works, but now the tension, and I may be using the wrong words. Somebody correct me if I'm using the wrong words. I may pop up words here to correct myself on the screen. So the way a garage door opener works, to my understanding, is it has the tension on the door. So we know, how heavy is the door, and it has that tension. It also has how far down it should go. So there's a couple of adjustments I'll show you guys up there. One is just that, the tension. The other one is the length. So how far does it go down before it stops? So if it could stop, before the ground, or it could slam into the ground. So you want to make sure that you get that tension correct so that it just closes to the ground level. And that is adjustable. If you're dealing with that is adjustable. And we're going to figure out together how to do this, because I remember messing with it at some point a long, long time ago. I don't remember it anymore, but we're going to figure it out together. First things first, I got to unlock my door. All right, that's unlocked. I'm going to reconnect this show you how to do that. Pull up the string, and we're gonna push the button. So now it is connected, and we can, now this is connected and we can push it again and the door will come up. I'm just gonna go up and then down just to see how it works. And because it did work when the repair guy was here, and then it didn't work, and it's either it just needs more tweaking. He spent forever here trying to tweak it to get it just right, and it was fine. We did all the paperwork, and then as we were both leaving, it didn't work again. So I'm gonna be tweaking it, and I want to see if it works just now, and yeah, we'll see what happens. And I'm gonna put it down just in case there's people outside. Well, that was exciting. It works. I'm going to try it a couple more times, and maybe it was just a fluke that it didn't work. We'll see. Well, guys, I guess it's fixed. Okay, I know that it might jump back up at some point because it did do that. It did do that before, where it popped back up. But for now, I'm going to call it fixed. Hopefully it will stay this way. But I do understand that I might be replacing things for the motor later, or adjusting it and tuning it, you know, later. I guess while we're here, if you are dealing with a garage door not closing all the way and coming back up, and it closes down to like maybe this far, that could be because your sensor is getting blocked. So if you are closing your garage door and you're inside the garage and you run to get outside and you run over, it goes back up. You're like, what's going on? I just press the button to go down. I'm sure you guys have also seen videos of people running out of the garage door and jumping and hitting their head for no reason. Well, what they're doing is they're trying to jump over this light, this laser that goes on the bottom, so that doesn't stop. So I'll show you that real quick. I'm not going to show you bumping my head. Don't even think about that. So right here, this thing right here, that's a little laser, and it goes on the rail there, and over here. And yes, there are spider webs everywhere. It is a garage. But if that is blocked at all, or you know, even if it has like a leaf that's hanging from the bottom of your garage door, I've had that. I've had it where there's a weed that's on the outside that gets folded in and it stops. That can also stop it. So before you call anybody, make sure that that is not the issue, because that might be an expensive call for no reason. All right, I'm going to show you something the installer or I'm going to show you something the repair person showed me of how to know if your spring is bad or needs help, if you need to call someone. So I'm going to disconnect this again. And again, here's how you disconnect. So this here, you just pull down. That's now disconnected. And I am going to face it this way because there are vehicles out there. So now this is disconnected. And so I should be able to just pull this up. If it's connected and it's down, you will not be able to pull it up. That machine is holding it down, and that's its relaxed position, is to hold it down. So it's essentially locked from the outside when this is hooked up and the garage door is down. So I can lift this up. And what he said is that if you can have it here midway up and it stay, then that's safe and that's good, and your spring is likely doing good. If it doesn't stay, like in the video that I had, I'll put it in here. How to open your garage door when your electricity's out. Oh, that doesn't work. That's what would normally open it. Follow this. And here's this cord here. Hold this cord. That disconnects the motor from the door, and we'll open it up. Then you need to call somebody to figure out what your issue is. You might need your spring replaced, because that can be dangerous. So this is out here, you know, I can have my hands off and it still stays up. So that's not going to fall on anybody. All right, so what else can I share with you about the garage door, since I was going to show you this? I'll still show you what those look like up there, I guess, and show you how they can be adjusted. I'm not going to touch it to adjust it because apparently it's working now. So I know my garage is old and the doors are wooden and the tracks are old and the garage is old. It's all old. But something that my dad and I did is we traded out these rollers. I'll show you that. So right here is the roller, and it's in a pin right here, and then there it rolls there. And if it's not going smoothly, then that could be what's wrong. And those are really easy to change out. I think we just got the parts at like Lowe's and it was really easy to change out. So another thing to think about is if you have an old building and you have a wooden building and things are mounted on wood, sometimes the garage door doesn't close. It doesn't want to close. It'll pop back up because the wood is wet. So if there is moisture in the wood, sometimes it will have a hard time closing. I just have to like do it a few times, and sometimes I have to kind of push on the rail a little bit, but it's not going to fall on me, so I'm okay. But that is another thing that you might deal with if you go from a very dry to very wet. Then the wood swells, and so it can actually move some of the tracks and stuff very slightly, and it's fine. All right. Let's go up on the ladder. Don't have to, but I'm going to. Let's go show you what the garage door opener looks like. So there's two things here. Open force and close force. So those are two things you can adjust here. And then on the side are some other adjustments. I think that's how far Again, if you're a professional, you want to chime in on what exactly those do, go ahead, but it looks like it's working now, so I'm gonna go get my car, park it in its home. It's been out in the cold all night, which is fine, it's a car. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I was gonna show you exactly how to do that, but it didn't have to be done. But if this does start closing and then opening again, then that is what I'll end up doing, is to move that with it's just a flathead screwdriver is all you need. And that will adjust those settings. All right. Hopefully that was informative and little rambling, but oh well. All right. If you liked the video, hit the like. If you want to share it around, go ahead and share it. It's a safety thing. You're not going to know that these things are going bad without either blowing out your motor or doing that test where you unhook it and lift it up, and you know whether or not it falls or not. So it shouldn't fall when you lift it up if it's unhooked from the motor. And be safe out there. So subscribe if you haven't subscribed, please, and enjoy your day. Thanks for watching.